Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. I've got a load of things to tell you about that happened whilst Fedoran was here in the Fox and Goose Inn in Defiance Bay. Whilst everyone was tucked up in bed getting their much needed rest, Fedoran was busy himself with party affairs and personal affairs as well. So first of all, what we'll do is I'll take you through the levelling up. Adair levelled up and got an additional ability to pick, and the one I have chosen is Into the Fray, which is a two per encounter ability, and it's a pull. Basically it pulls enemies into his melee range, causing damage, leaving them dazed, and it seems like a good option if one or two enemies start targeting our other more squishy characters. He can hopefully rescue them by pulling that enemy away from them. So I thought that would be a good one to have. Durance also levelled up, and with him we have now unlocked level 3 priest spells, of which I have not looked at them yet, so these are all completely new to me. I'll have to go through those at some point and see what they offer, because they could be very, very useful. No doubt they will be very, very useful in the right situation. Aloth, he too levelled up, and with him we have got to pick two third level spells. We have gone for Kalakoth's Minor Blights, which seems like a very interesting one, which gives us the opportunity to create balls of energy. And basically that replaces our weapon and we toss them at the enemy. Now this reminds me of, and I can't remember the name of the spell in Dungeons and Dragons Baldur's Gate, but there is a spell where you do something very similar and your weapon is replaced by a load of little fireballs. I'm trying to remember the name of the spell and I can't remember it, but you lob these fireballs, it replaces your weapon. But yeah, something similar. So picking that with Aloth, and also going for Noxious Burst, which is a corrode damage based AoE attack, which causes sickened as well. Clouds of poisonous foulness. Sounds absolutely hideous, but there you go. And finally the big man himself, old Fedoran here, he has too levelled up and got to pick a couple of level 3 spells, but he's been a busy little bee because he has been furiously scribing spells and learning spells and transferring spells between the multiple grimoires that he's picked up, and therefore he now has, if we look at his actual grimoire, a completely new array of spells at first level, and at second level, and at third. So his repertoire is vastly increasing already, which gives him such happiness, such bragging rights. Poor Aloth knows not even half the spells that he does, and he absolutely loves it. Bragging rights all round. So with Fedoran, we've filled out all of his grimoire slots with the spells that we deem to be the ones that we're going to use mostly. And then, in his secondary grimoire slot, we'll get there eventually, he has got the additional spells that couldn't fit in his first grimoire. So across both grimoires he has available to use all of the spells that he currently knows. So the next talent that we will go for when we get the opportunity to unlock it will be the shortened cooldown when switching between grimoires, because he will be doing that to make use of all the spells that he has. He wants to be able to cast a massive amount of spells and have choice as to which ones to cast, and no doubt he may even be equipping multiple grimoires in his quick slots in order to do that. So, but he's liking the progression so far. And as you can notice, he also is decked out in slightly new attire. He has this fine robe. Not quite as flamboyant as the feathers that he had from the deer wooden clothing, but as a wizard one must be dressed appropriately, and therefore slipping in to these robes this morning, looking much more authentic, but still keeping the hat, of course. So that is Fedoran. So he is really looking forward to his travels today to wield new spells and show them off to the party members. So we sold a lot of stuff to fund our spell learning, and also we have commissioned the construction of a new part of the fort. We are going for Bright Hollow Restoration, because we need to be able to rest when we visit our fort occasionally. And therefore that's what we're going to go for. The main keep, of course, finished last time out, and we are itching to see just what it looks like now, having been repaired. And more about that in a second. So I think that was pretty much everything. Oh no, one last thing, I think. Quite a bit of stuff happened. Fine Wand, yes, he is the Scion of Flame, don't forget. Remember? He claims to be immune to fire, but he's not. But he is a Scion of Flame. And therefore, enchanting his fine wand with additional burn damage. We've actually used the enchanting feature for the first time, and we have enchanted his fine wand with Burning Lash. So now his wand doing additional burn damage as well as the damage that it does as the norm. So new clothes, a load of new spells in grimoires, and a newly enchanted fine wand. Fedoran really does think he's going places. And that, I think, is everything that I did off camera. Took me about half an hour to sort of get my way through everything, which is why I tend to do these kind of things off camera rather than on. But anyway, so there you go. And we are ready to move on to do something. What on earth are we going to do? Well, after Fedoran had finished with his enchanting, with his spell scribing, with his selling of goods, he finally did get to sleep and had a bit of a strange dream, probably brought on by some of Aloth's comments in the last session. He made some offhand comment about Gilded Vale, to which Adair made a bit of a response, and it was kind of brushed under the carpet. But that must have played on his mind, because he had a dream about Gilded Vale and its tyrannical ruler, Lord Radric, oppressing the people, the fact that the village is in a complete and utter disrepair state. Even the Tuatanu seems to be oppressed by Lord Radric's rule, constantly looking at the guards when he was talking to Fedoran, almost worried about what he was saying, having to supply Lord Radric with weapons and therefore not able to supply visitors with the best equipment. The hanging tree, the tree with the people swinging from it, the smell, putrid smell, when you step foot in the village from that, is absolutely horrendous. It is just a nightmare of a place. And we were told by some weird fella called Kolsk that we could relieve Lord Radric of his position. And we said we'd do that, and we kind of went down here and almost forgot about it. But that dream last night brought that back into focus. We've got to help the people of Gilded Vale, thinks Fedoran. Whilst we are here shopping and enjoying some drinks in an evening, helping people with Svef-pushing partners, there are bigger troubles at hand in Gilded Vale, and we cannot simply turn our backs.
Hey.
So today's session, if you'll pardon the rather long introduction, is going to be focused on heading back towards Gilded Vale and taking down Lord Radric. But before we even do that, custom formation went a bit fuzzy, went a bit wrong. Due to us changing the order of the cards, it muddled up the formation. Fedoran wasn't at the back for a start, which is never a good sign.
Hey.
All right. So off we go.
Hey.
So we are going to be making a swift retreat.
Tagani, does your fox bite?
Yes.
Can I pet him anyway?
It's your hand.
I'm gonna pet him.
Yeah, talking of Itumak, I noticed when I was editing the last video that he was doing some real damage. He was getting some real high damage hits in to the enemy. Like 20 odd points at a time. Really handing it to him. In fact, can we... Yeah, we can actually go directly to our keep. So we'll do that. We can't go all the way back to Gilded Vale without checking on our keep first.
Walls need some work before this place is secure. My husband could fix them right up.
Your husband is a half a league away, my dear. Is he not? So taking a pit stop. How long left for this to be finished? 21 hours. Now we actually don't have... We only have one camping supply. We should have bought some camping supplies from the inn actually we were in, but doesn't matter. We can always buy them from the Black Hound in the Gilded Vale before we head out to take down Lord Radric. But apparently, look at this! The doors aren't broken! This is a good sign. Oh. It's been tidied up alright, look at this. Nice. Nice and nice. Ooh, we have a messenger. Here we go. Palace messenger. Stand by. Stand by. I'm just going to take a guided tour.
Not a problem.
Guiding my dog. I'm guiding Tess around. Look! His wand has got a flame on it! I didn't notice that! Oh, absolutely marvellous. I think he's a bit jealous. I think he was jealous of Adair's flaming blade or, you know, glowing blade. Wanted one of his own. I think now we can use this treasury chest to store things now that we have the keep upgraded. Don't know why we would want to do that really. But, Greetings, my lord. Oh, and he loves how people call him lord. I bear an urgent message from Chancellor Warren of Defiance Bay. He requests that you meet with him at your earliest convenience in the Ducal Palace. We've just come from there. Your claim on Kednua has been called into question. What? By the Gathbin family. Earl Baedmar has issued a ruling on the matter, but both you and Lord Gathbin must be present. Excuse me, but Kednua, aka Fedoran's keep, is well and truly mine. The Gathbin family disagrees. As your claim is not based on lineage, an official ruling is required to remedy this dispute. Oh my god. This is certainly shaking Fedoran to the core. We've only just come into possession of this damn thing. We've pumped money into it. Look at it. We've just renovated the main hall. Who is this Lord Gathbin? An old Adarian lineage, I believe. He looks around. The former lord of this stronghold, a distant relative of Lord Gathbin, allied himself with the losing side during a war of defiance. And this Chancellor Warren? An arbiter of legal matters for Earl Baedmar of the Grasp. Oh, fine, well I will get to meeting him when I'm good and ready. The Chancellor will await you in the records room of the Ducal Palace in First Fires. Messenger bows and then strides away. Oh, I think we're going back. Oh no, we're not. I thought we were going to teleport us there. Holy moly! What's more important, Fedoran? Your keep, or the people of Gilded Vale? This completely changes our plans. Oh, Lord, give me strength. Does the steward have anything to say about this?
I trust all is well. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Okay. Have we not asked these before? I think we have, you know. I think we have. Okay. This steward is here to known as Susie. It is a completely non-RP based name. All your Aloths, your Saganis, you know, all these, you know, names.
Ready when you are.
Susie.
Not a problem.
Susie the steward. There you go. Just for my own amusement. Anyway, Sagani can level up, actually. After I've just done a load of leveling up before the session started. Might as well do it. And with her, she is going to be our stealth/survival character. So we'll put a point into stealth. And she has an opportunity for another ranger ability unlock. Okay, so swift aim gives her 20% attack speed, extra reload speed, but for the cost of accuracy, and it's a mode. Defensive bond. So plus 15 defense against AoE attacks. If we're both in the same area of effect. Stalker's Link. So we have a necklace that boosts this actually. So long experience fighting together enables the ranger and animal companion to fight as a highly efficient team. So basically gaining extra accuracy if fighting the same opponent as the animal companion. Predator's sense. Okay, arrow sense. Giving her extra deflection against range attacks. That would be very useful as a ranged character. Being able to get extra deflection against range attacks would be pretty nice. And then we've got vicious aim, which is another mode. What do we choose here? I'm not too fond of the modes. Either quicker attacks or more damaging attacks. I just think it's a waste. So we've got 15 deflection against ranged attacks, accuracy bonus when attacking the same companion as your companion. I don't like these two, so it's between these two. Deflection against range attacks. It's pretty useful. Passive, constant effect, whereas Stalker's Link is a bit more situational. But an extra accuracy bonus makes it more likely that we would hit with our weapon. The reason I'm going to pick this one, and the reason why I'm going to pick it is because I've got that necklace that actually even boosts this even further. So I think, yeah, I think we'll go for this one. Stalker's Link. So extra accuracy when attacking the same target as Itumak. Yeah, why not? Why not? So this modifies Stalker's Link. Doesn't tell us how it modifies it though. I assume it makes it better, maybe increasing the accuracy bonus even further. So we'll put that on and see what it does. Ah, look at that. Plus 20% damage as well per 3 seconds. So I think this necklace actually boosts the damage as well as the accuracy when we're targeting the same enemy as our companion. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Right, we're in a quandary here. We are in a big quandary because we were going to go and help the village of Gilded Vale. And after that dream, the poor people suffered for far too long. But now all of a sudden, this great keep that we have just come into possession of and we are pumping money into, is literally, somebody has challenged us to the rights of it. Could be whipped away from beneath our feet. And if we don't get there as soon as possible, who's to say that they might not hear the case in our absence? I think we're going back to Defiance Bay, my friends.
Hey. Hey.
So we're off again. Complete and utter U-turn. It's a long, long way to Defiance Bay. Lots of travelling to be done.
Hey,
and
I feel sorry for whoever has to clean up this place.
Yes, well, thankfully it isn't us. We just put the money into it and somebody else does it for us. Oh, the joys of having staff. Yeah. I mean, we're about halfway between Defiance Bay and Gilded Vale right now. But Fedoran being Fedoran, he cannot even bear the thought of having this place taken away from him. So this is #1 priority. Back we go again.
Hey.
Okay, so Bright Hollow is completed, so that if we do go back to our keep
All right,
from
then.
here on in, we'll have a place to rest, but we're not interested in resting. And it's a very strange hour to be heading to the Ducal Palace, but needs must. There is no time to waste. Now, what exactly? There you go, a call to court. The Ducal Palace in the First Fires. We need to get there, and we need to get there ASAP.
Hey.
I mean, that's where we need to go for our own inquiries, but they can wait. They can wait. Fedoran doesn't feel as if he's going mad, and it's probably a slow process, and as long as he continues to not read souls, we should be okay, because I think he believes that it's actually the procedure of going through reading souls that makes you slowly develop this madness, and therefore if he just stays away from anything silly,
The word. Hey.
doesn't use his powers too often, he should be okay. I mean, last night he had a decent night's sleep. No funny business. Look at this. I did want to check this out, but we ain't got time for sightseeing, I'm afraid. Maybe some kind actors and some kind of a show being performed at 2 o'clock in the morning. We haven't got time to listen or to watch. We have business of the highest priority to attend to. And nobody or nothing will stand in our way. First Fires. Right. See if
Hey.
Yeah?
Hey.
perhaps asking directions. Been pointing, it's a great big building that you can barely miss. Look at that, very nice indeed. Crucible. The Temple of Wodaka, which is where we need to go, actually. Ondra's Gift. The Valian Embassy, which is definitely a point of interest for Fedoran, hailing from Old Valia. But again, all of this
Hey.
is just sightseeing, things to do when one has time to enjoy milling around the city. Not when one has the prospect of his keep being whisked away from underneath his feet.
Politics, infighting, greed, and a shrine to Margaret as well. Her clergy belongs there.
Hey.
Okay, completely ignoring what he's saying. This is not the time to listen to a madman's ramblings. Right, Chancellor Warren, Chancellor Warren, Chancellor Warren. Let's have a...
Ready when you are.
Please stay here, he's instructing his party. He doesn't want to be seen some Chancellor with a ragtag band making it look like we're reprobates off the damn street. So, yes, hold fire.
Not a problem.
Fedoran straightening his hat. rustling his robes and looking important.
How do you do?
The young woman wears a simple but well-tailored uniform. She watches the comings and goings around her with quiet attention. Any news to share, or are you just here to see the ducal palace? I'm looking for the Chancellor, actually. Who are you? I'm a page here at the palace. I deliver messages and run errands for the Duke and his advisors. The pay's not great, but I can't think of a better introduction to politics. Looking for news? Not particularly. Tell me about this current Duke. That would be Avar Wolfgren. Don't let the title fool you, though. Our dukes have been elected since independence. Some find Duke Avar rather coarse. He's a frontier noble. Personally, I think a rough and tumble type is just what Defiance Bay needs. Right, and what goes on in here? She laughs. Where to start? We've got meetings, public hearings and ceremonies. That's just the stuff that happens out in the open. She leans in a little bit closer. This is where the Duke and his key advisors work, so there's always someone bartering for a favour. Unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to talk about that side of things. But if you want the official version, she clears her throat and gestures counterclockwise around the palace, we have a shrine devoted to Magrin, official records, and chambers for public hearings and council meetings. Right, well, we will be back for small talk later. We really must rush off to see the Chancellor. Goodbye. Okay, so we need to find the most important looking person in this place. There's an office up here, probably the Duke's office or something. Let's have a look. Hall of Records. We'll find it, not a problem. We'll just run around and ask everybody we come across. Who's this fella here? The Animancy Hearings. Don't know where that goes. That doesn't look like it's right. This looks like some kind of armory. Nobody really giving us any direction here. But then nobody's stopping us either, so we'll just continue on. Aha. Okay. This looks like what we have come for. Thank you for coming, Fedoran. I've been trying to track you down for some time. Well, we are a very hard person to get hold of, wandering around as we do. This is Marshal Forywin, Earl Bedamar's military advisor. He will serve as witness for this proceeding. Gesturing to the man next to him. Well met, Road Warden. Your reputation precedes you. I admit you've created a bit of a stir throughout the nobility with your reclamation of Kednua. Most are still not sure what to think of you. Yes, well, what is this about? The legitimacy of your claim to Kednua is in question. Earl Badmar has issued a ruling on the matter. Oh dear. Okay, yeah, noting it. I see. All will be made clear once Lord Gathbin arrives. Do you have any questions for me while we wait? Tell me about this Earl Badmar. Earl Badmar comes from an esteemed line of lords that rose to prominence after the War of Defiance some 150 years ago. The deal would consist of 7 earldoms. The Badmars govern the northern earldom known as the Grasp. As to the current Badmar, he is a fine man as I know. It is an honour to serve him. Okay, I'm not bothered about the Grasp, I'm not bothered about small talk. Let's just get to the damn point here. And this Gathbin? Well, I've met him once. It was ample time to determine the character of Lord Elder Gathbin, or lack thereof. He is descended from an old Aderian line that predates the War of Defiance. His great-grandfather, Ranny Gathbin, was the Earl of Yenwood during the war. That is, until he was stripped of his lands and driven from the Deerwood. Earl of Yenwood, yeah, we know about the Earl of Yenwood, yeah, we know about their dealings with Kednua, fine. Right, well that's fine for now. We'll just wait until this man appears. Your timing is impeccable. Here comes Lord Gathbin now. Oh, Jesus, he looks relatively menacing, I imagine, and the rest of the party have joined us eventually, perhaps wondering where we got to. An opulently dressed man strides toward the Chancellor, his sandy hair trailing him like a banner caught in a light breeze, boot heels echoing throughout the hall. An elven woman with cropped hair, dressed in dark glinting mail, shadows his steps before taking position alongside him. She watches you, unabashedly, taking your measure. Let's move past this formality as quickly as possible. I have other matters to attend to. It's well known that Kednua belongs to me by right. And where is this pretender? Show me the fool that thinks to steal my land. Where is this low-born wretch? Warren clears his throat and glances at us. This man here? This is the Lord of Kednua? I thought he was just another servant, perhaps a valet or a porter. Actually, I'll have you know I'm part of aristocracy myself, says Fedoran, straightening himself up. I don't know what distant lands you come from, but your title carries little weight in the Deerwood. Chancellor, read the decree. I am losing my patience with this backwater fop. Warren breaks the seal on the scroll and unfurls it. Regarding the matter of the Gathbin claim on Kednua, Earl Badmar finds that the Gathbin claim was never relinquished. By law, Kednua is the rightful property of the Gathbin family. I knew it. He smirks at us triumphantly. I'm not yet finished reading, my lord. Gathbin rolls his eyes and motions for the Chancellor to continue. However, the Earl recognises Fedoran's part in reclaiming Kednua, a site that has stood abandoned and even, some would say, cursed for over a century. Before Kednua is returned to the Gathbin family, the Earl has decreed that Lord Gathbin will provide compensation in the form of absolutely not. Gathbin folds his arms, a defiant scowl on his face. My lord, Warren raises his eyebrows. The amount is quite reasonable, and a requirement for your land to be returned to you. If you'll just allow me to finish. I'll not pay a single copper to this miscreant for my ancestral land. Do you think I'm blind to the Earl's motives, lackey? He thinks he can send a message with this insult? I have a message you can send that son of a whore. Gathbin raises an open hand as the Chancellor shrinks from him, arms raised in defence. I don't think Fedoran wants to get involved here. Probably should intervene, but this man looks very menacing, and we'll just stay as we are. Do nothing. My lord, I suggest you calm yourself immediately. The Marshal's tone is calm, but his hand rests on the hilt of his sword. The elven woman deftly draws a pistol from her thick leather belt, her eyes widen in anticipation. This is getting awfully out of hand. My lords, please, there is no need for violence. Lord Gathbin holds your gaze for several heartbeats, his eyes burning with hatred. Why? Because we didn't interfere? I'll be coming for what's mine. Count on it. Come, Captain Emery, we're leaving. He sneers defiantly before storming down the hall. The captain lowers her pistol and gives a smirking shrug before following her employer. Well, Fedoran, breathing a sigh of relief as the man leaves. Well, I can't say that the Gathbin's reaction was entirely unexpected. Through no fault of your own, I'm afraid you've made a powerful enemy. So he did seem a little upset, didn't he? Fedoran's saying, almost shaking. I've heard he's always been vicious, even as a boy, and he can hold a grudge for a very long time. In any case, Kednua now officially belongs to you since Lord Gathbin has rejected the Earl's decree. He hands you a deep blue sceptre which looks to have been carved entirely out of sapphire. Here, this belonged to one of the old lords of Kednua. By right, it's yours now. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, well, we're not going to threaten execution, I don't think. And we're certainly not going to welcome him round for Sunday dinner. So it's simply stating that we are done here, and we must we must get going. We got things to do. It was a pleasure to finally meet you, my lord. Warren bows. Perhaps we'll speak again under more pleasant circumstances. Farewell, Fedoran. The marshal nods at you and leaves. Holy moly! So, as things stand, we are still Lord of Kednua. However, we have made an enemy that may strike what the well holds. The quest expires in 2 days. What on earth? Things are happening here that I do not know what's going on. Yeah, he may strike at us without a moment's notice, so we must inform the steward and be on our guard. Right, what have we got here? Okay, so I'm assuming that because we have unlocked the keep, we can partake in side missions. Ah. I see. Well, we'll give it a try. So it rewards 25% experience, swaddling sheet, 300 to 750 copper in the treasure. I think that chest that I said was available to us might be the treasure, actually, where the money goes from these quests, perhaps. Maybe. Spies in 1 day, 3 turns. There's a well in a little village somewhere. No one's gone down the well. Okay. So Kana been asked to go and assist this little village, Kindlevale, with their well problem. And see what happens. Now, Bright Hollow restoration is complete, but we have no coin now, so that will be our upgrades done for the time being. Righty-ho, so a slight distraction.
Of course.
Fedoran a bit shaken up from his encounter. But we can now move on. Of course, he was a little bit hamstrung as well. I mean, he didn't want to appear to be a violent man in the presence of the Chancellor in the Ducal Palace. I mean, goodness gracious. Talk about embarrassing yourself. A man of his stature cannot sink to the levels of violence in the presence of nobility. That's how he's couching it to his companions when they probably ask him, why on earth didn't you stand up for yourself?
Hey.
Well, it would be completely uncouth to break out in violence in the Hall of Records. Do you think I am some kind of barbarian? That's not how nobles conduct themselves. You think they'll believe him? Right, before we were rudely interrupted by such trivial matters as our keep being taken away from us, we now head back to where we were supposed to be heading in the first place, which is to Gilded Vale initially. To the Black Hound, we'll get some camping supplies, see what we need to do, and then head out to seek Radric's Keep. Holy cow, there's loads of stuff happening. Messengers arriving. Things happening here, look at that. Prestigious visitor has arrived at the castle, at the keep. Oh well, we're busy, I'm afraid to say. I mean, I don't know how this management works, so you have to bear with me. If somebody can notices that I'm doing something wrong or has any tips about this, please feel free to let me know. But I assume we'd have to go and meet him. He may stay there for some time. It doesn't say there's a time limit. And we've got a level up situation for old Nadog, which is going to be very useful considering where we're going next. Right, so here we are, back on familiar territory. The Black Hound Inn, where we shall have a drink, celebrate the fact that we still own Fedoran's Keep for the time being. We'll level up our Nadog here, and then we shall rest, and in the morning we shall head on out. To where are we going? There we go. Easternwood. To Haradric's Hold, where we intend to take him down. With force, more than likely, but you never know. Maybe a word in the old shell might work. Somehow I don't think so. But anyway, seeing as this session has gone on longer than I anticipated due to the slight diversion, we'll call a close to things here. And then next time we shall undertake this quest. So join me next time for that. See you soon.